Hi everyone, welcome to YMVC show again, Youth Mentors and VCs, and I'm here with a very good friend of mine. We've been meaning to make this happen for a while. I think it has been months, but I'm grateful to God that today we're gonna make it happen, and I'm really excited about it. Thank you guys for tuning in to the previous episodes. And I'm really grateful for the support, the comments, the questions you guys ask, and even for the people you guys inquire us to bring to the podcast. And we're really grateful. So, without further ado, I want to first introduce our partners and sponsors of Youth Mentors and VC shows. That is Rico Amor. They deal with plant based coconut yogurt made in Watamu. For those who are lactose intolerant, this is your plug actually to go and get the yogurt. For those who don't consume dairy, we got a solution for you from Rico Amor. Also, our brand partner called Allo.co. They deal with women fashion. Actually, for these ladies who love luxury brands, this is your way to go. And also, we have a school in Kenya called Rofina School that we support with donations and charity for the children living in the slum areas. So we're gonna put a picture so that you guys, for those who love giving, should go and support this school because we believe giving is receiving. And without further ado, I want to introduce my guest today. She's called Muna, but that's how I call her. She's going to do a full introduction of herself so that we get to know her well. Welcome on board, Muna.
Thank you
How
very
are you
much.
doing today?
I am good. How are you?
Doing very well. I'm really excited about this show. I've been looking forward to do this for a very long time.
You're
Your
finally doing
products,
it.
yes, your products
Good.
makes me want to do it every other single day.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Thank you
maybe you
for
could
having me.
give us a brief introduction about you and what you do.
Okay. Again, thank you for having me. Good morning, everyone. My name is Muna Abi, and I am the founder and director of Mubi Leather Limited. We are a sustainable made in Kenya brand that designs and manufactures premium leather products, starting from bags, handbags, travel bags, and other lifestyle accessories like wallets, belts, passport holders, notebook covers, anything that leather can work with, we do.
Mm,
And we are actually based in Nairobi, Kenya. Thank you.
is there something like leather coats, blazers for men?
Yes, yes. They are there. It depends with the type of leather because different leathers are meant to produce different types of items. As an industry, we haven't gotten to that level yet to have that soft leather for apparel to make now the blazers and the jackets. But I know other industries, like in the Ethiopian industries, they do produce really nice leather jackets.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, that's amazing. So let's talk about the birth of Mubi Leather. What inspired you to start Mubi Leather, and how has your journey been as a sustainable entrepreneur in the Kenyan fashion industry?
So I started the business back in so the idea started in 2018. And we started because I was actually living in Mombasa back then. I'm a born and raised child of Mombasa County. So soon after university, I started working as an accountant. So I went into the corporate world. And for sure, I needed a bag. And now the locally available bags are the imported ones. So because I think because of the humidity in Mombasa, these bags will wear out quite fast. I think the thin, shiny layer of the bags will start peeling off, and they remove like a white dust that really tampered with my clothing. So I thought there must be a solution for this. They can't be we don't have to like consume imported goods. Why can't we produce our own durable bags or accessories? And that is where I stumbled upon leather. And the reason why I love leather is because of its durability and the quality that it comes with. So I did some research. I came to Nairobi and I did a lot of tours and went around tanneries, meeting artisans, also those that can produce the bags. And that is how basically the journey started. Was again brainstorming and now doing market research. And I did realize that, of course, there was a need for durable products, as opposed to the cheap imported products. And that is where I think my entrepreneurial journey kicked off. And also I didn't know that creativity part of me that was lying underneath, and it finally came out, and I started doing design work as well for the brand. And in 2019, we started our first samples. Just before COVID hit, we had actually launched the brand in December 2019, just before COVID. And of course, COVID came and really tampered with a lot. But that didn't stop us. Of course, it did slow us down. But I managed to release the first collection. This is still back when I'm living in Mombasa. So when we finally had a chance to move to Nairobi as a family in 2021, and that was one of my greatest milestones, I think, coming closer to the industry, because working from Mombasa was really, really tiring. We didn't have the industry established there. We didn't have artisans. We didn't have the materials, nothing at all. I had to move back and forth to come to Nairobi for manufacturing, marketing, and then selling. So now that I'm closer to the industry, I've still worked with a couple of artisans that have been manufacturing for the brand for quite some time. And we finally had the resource and the strength to finally set up our own now manufacturing site, which is based in South Sea. So in September 2023, we finally launched our own space, and this meant a lot of control for us to create. The potential is quite wide. Working with outside, it was good working with other artisans, outsourcing productions from them, but we lost a lot of control there. And also we used to fight a lot about timelines, because now you agree with a customer and now the manufacturing is letting you down. So that meant having our own space brought a lot of control and the possibility of creating even more. So here we are right now at 5 years old, and we're still doing very well. Thank you.
Maybe I can also ask this move for you to have your own premise, to do your own production in your own place. For so many entrepreneurs, it is a really, really huge milestone, because oftentimes we see people start in shared places, using the same, you go into an incubator, share equipment with different companies so that you can be able to just make your first product. So does it mean you got enough money from your business to open your own premise, or was it an investment that led you to open your own premise?
So to answer this question, I'll say both. It was from our revenues from the previous year, and also I needed to top up because setting up is not cheap. The machineries themselves come very expensive, and installing all the equipment and the fixtures, furnitures, that took up a lot. So I would say both saved money, and also some outside investment that also came in and boosted the business, setting up that workshop. And as of now, as we speak, we are looking to move into a bigger space, because again, we have outgrown that small space that we had. Our team is also growing. And so as we speak, we are moving to a bigger space, which means more investments. But I thank God that business really sustains itself at the moment. If anything, maybe a small outside investment again because of the bigger space. But as of now, the business is sustaining itself.
Okay. So let's speak about the meaning behind the brand Mubi Leather. How does it reflect your values and the vision of your brand? How did that name come up?
So Mubi is simply my name and that of my late father. Let's start there. Muna
Right.
Abi. So Muna, so the MU. And now Abi is the name of my late father, Abi, ABI. So the BI, I combine the two. And simply because I'm trying to build a legacy. So backstory is I am the first ever daughter to attend the university. And this is thankfully to God and then now my father who saw the potential in me. So I really wanted to bring him along, even if he's no longer with us. So I wanted to bring him along and just remember how far and the hard work that he had to put me through university studies. So, and also the reason because I want to build this legacy for my kids. I have 2 young girls, and I want them to continue with this legacy, God willing. They are very enthusiastic about the business and they really inquisitive, like, Mom, what are you doing? What are you up to? Can we follow you to work? Of course, I will give them the freedom to choose the careers they would want in the future. But it is, I think the brand is for me a lot of, it's so deep that I really want to create a legacy that goes through a generation to another. So my dad's generation, my own generation, and that of my children, and probably even beyond. So that is why the name had to be so original, and the founder's name, of course, so that it can go beyond me. Yes.
Yeah, legacy is key. I mean, not so many African entrepreneurs usually want to speak about legacy because
Mm.
they feel like their lives are coming to an end. So they don't want to speak about the future. But it's a
Future.
good thing you have that in mind. It's a really, really good thing. So let's speak about sustainability. How does Mubi Leather ensure sustainability in its production processes, and why is it an essential part to your mission?
Sustainability. I think
Mm,
it's because I love nature. And let's begin with how I even started working with leather. I was looking for a material that was actually sustainable. And sustainability, by that I mean, is it something that we can use for a couple of months, then throw off into the landfills, just like the cheap imported bags that we currently have in the market? No, I really didn't want to use such material, which was widely and cheaply available, by the way, when I was doing my research. And with leather, the studies that I did, I really did come to find out, okay, leather is a sustainable material. Why? First of all, it is a byproduct of the meat industry. And I do really like to clarify this, that we do not have leather because we are killing the animals. No, the animals are actually getting slaughtered for consumption, for food. And the hides and skins from the slaughterhouses now are useless, so to speak. And they may end up in landfills and then cause some environmental hazards. That is where the tanneries come in and they convert. Now they pick up the hides and skins and they now process them into leather. So instead of this hide and skin being useless, because we do not consume, as a nation, we do not consume the skins. Otherwise, it would just been thrown off and, decompose and cause some environmental hazards. So turning that hide and skin into leather is, I think, one of the genius things that has been done to curb that problem, to to give a solution to that byproduct. And then because it's natural, when the hides and skins are being tanned, they become even more durable. They are preserved, so they no longer decompose. Now that we have the leather in hand, we can produce products, and a product can last for so long. A bag can even go from one generation to another. So as a sustainability champion, I'll say that was key for me. And how we take that sustainability from one value chain to another is now when it comes to production. So for example, we have a hide and skin. It does come in an irregular shape. It does not come in a, a square or a rectangle shape. It comes with an irregular shape. What happened is when we cut the useful part, the other sides that are quite not useful become offcuts. Again, the offcuts are ending up on landfills again. Now, the difference between the leather offcuts from manufacturing and the hides and skins from the slaughterhouses is that once the hides and skins do go through a tanning process and a chemical called chromium is added, then the hide and skin, when it becomes leather, it is more or less like plastic. Now, this is another problem that we have. The offcuts that are completely useless and we don't use, they end up in landfills just like plastic, and now causes another environmental hazard. So as of last year, I started a research on how we can reuse the offcuts after our production, because again, we don't want to dump them on the in our bins and then end up in landfills. So we did a couple of things. First, we tried to make the smallest item we can do with the leather offcuts. And that included things like keychains, armbands, something that can still have value to minimize the waste that we are going to release into the environment. Now, we still have waste remaining. What do? We decided, okay, now, if it doesn't make an item, can we creatively go around and, patch them up together to make a whole bag or a whole pouch or a wallet? And that is something else that we did. And I came up with an entire collection of reusing our offcuts. And the collection was last year in 2024. It was called Elegance, the Recrafted Collection. And that specific collection gained me, I gained to become one of the top 14 leather designers in Africa. So that was a nomination that we got, and we happened to showcase our products in Addis Ababa last year because of that specific collection, and talking about sustainability and how we are reusing our leather offcuts or waste. Now, we have further gone into incubation with Kirdi. Kirdi is the Kenya Industrial Development and Research Institute, to now find a solution for our offcuts in terms of now recycling. Now we still have offcuts that completely cannot make another leather product. So what can we do? And we are currently still working with them to come up with an end product from recycled leather. And this is not a problem that I face or we face as Mubi Leather, but the entire industry faces that. Huge manufacturers of leather goods are facing that. They have loads and loads of offcuts that are lying somewhere that are completely useless, but they don't know what to do with them. And they can't just dump them off on landfill, because that, again, is against the environmental sustainability rule. So if we do come up with a solution to recycle leather waste, then that will help the entire industry, starting from the tannery to the entire leather goods manufacturing industry.
Wow, that's amazing. How is it working at Kirdi? I know my first question was actually because of that. Entrepreneurs working in stations where other entrepreneurs are working. So is it easy to share the space, or there's not many people who are actually doing leather at Kirdi?
Many who are there currently are tanning. They come with their hides and skin for tanning process. Mine is completely different because we're trying to find out how can we now recycle this leather from manufacturing and from the tannery, the little wastes. Kirti has been amazing. I wouldn't say it has been bad. The only downside about it has been the process has been a bit slow. But again, I'm very hopeful and patient because nothing good comes easy. And because it has never been done before, this is a completely new research. I am actually very humbled that they took up my case because again, it's very new and we started everything from scratch, like researching and finding ways of how we can now recycle leather waste. It's something completely new to them, completely new to the industry. So I'm actually humbled that they took up this case and this project with me. And however slow we go, I'm truly hopeful that we'll make it.
Yeah, you'll make it. I believe in Kirby. They assisted me in my products as well. So I
Awesome.
believe they'll make it happen. Yeah, sure. So what role does locally sourcing the leathers play in your designs? And how do you celebrate Kenyan craftsmanship through your products?
Local sourcing. The local sourcing is now the other side of sustainability, of course, is to support economically and socially. And one way we do that is we source everything locally just to promote other vendors and the local tanneries. We source either directly from the tanneries themselves. Again, when we buy from ourselves, we create jobs on the other side. The tanneries get to create jobs so that we can come and buy. And then we have other small vendors who now bring in bulk. And they have their stalls in Kariakor Market and stuff. We also support those that have their own small setups and they have the leather there. So we support that. We also support locals, vendors who are now supplying us with the hardware and other accessories that we need to create our products. These are things like the zips, the sliders, the buckles, the lining and all that. So our products are actually 100% made in Kenya. And in terms of craftsmanship, we are supporting local artisans, those that have skills. Apart from that, we also mentor and we actually train artisans who completely have no knowledge of leather craftsmanship. So we bring them in, they come in and we train them. If we see so much potential in them, then we retain them, or we do give them reference to other leather manufacturers. So we are all-rounded in a way that we want this skill to grow because it's a growing industry, and we want this skill to also grow as the industry also grows. And because we are so many in the industry, the cake is too big. It's enough for all of us. It is good that we now have good supply of leather. Initially, we really had difficulties sourcing leather because again, the demand was not so much. So tanneries will end up exporting leather to other countries. But now that we are many in the industry, which is a good, and because of, economies of scale, we get to get supply often and also at a relatively good price.
Okay, that's amazing. All right. Yeah, so let's speak about your elegance in your products. I mean, your products are very uniquely fashioned and quite remarkable. I mean, very unique. So how do you combine the elegance and the product to still function its purpose the way it's supposed to be? Because I know there are people who have had to compromise their products' elegance so that they can achieve their functionality. So how do you manage to balance both?
First of all, I'll say it begins with our design process. And what we really consider so much in our design process is functionality. Functionality, I mean, we just don't create a random bag. We want to create a bag with a purpose. And this has come because initially when I started the business, I did not have a collection. I was just going by it. Customers would reach out and I'm like, okay, I'll customize a bag for you. What would you like? Like the type of leather, the size of the bag, how many pockets would you want the bag to have? And that is how I did for the first 2 years of the business. I used to customize each bag for an individual customer as per their need and use. Now, because I wanted the business to also grow, from the learnings of those experiences and interactions with the customers, I did learn, okay, these are the things that most customers like. There was a denominator. Like bags have to be functional. Bags had to have different compartments. Bags that are carrying laptop, they have to have a separate padded compartment. There was this common factor that was going around in every design that we made. So because of our business, again, customizing was really slow. And because we needed to scale, so we decided to come up with a collection and mass produce. Again, we are in business, so we really have to make profits. We are just not here as a hobby at the moment. So based on those interactions, we decided to now factor in functionality as number one in our products. So after functionality, now some of the functionalities of a bag would be the carrying mechanism. Some will say, okay, I need my bag. Sometimes I want it to carry it with a longer strap, shoulder strap, and sometimes I'll just need to hold it in my hand, the short handles. So we incorporated that in our bags. They have two carrying mechanisms. Okay, so, they will say, okay, we need front accessible pockets for quickly, putting in our phone or our keys that we can access quite fast. We did that, we added that. We are carrying our laptops, but we are also carrying notebooks, and we are also carrying iPads, and we are also carrying phones, and we are also carrying wallets. So what can you create? So we have a separate padded compartment for the laptops and the iPads, and then we have enough space for the customers to also input other products like notebooks, files, phones, and smaller pockets there. They can put their car keys or their wallets. So with that, we had to prioritize on functionalities. The second thing I'll say is the quality. Now, quality has to come from the raw materials we use. We went for the best leather out there, the best leather that we could get for, again, durability. We want this bag to last as long as possible. Now, with a durable quality leather, needs to come with durable accessories. We don't want the bag to be made of good leather and then the zipper comes off. That doesn't look okay at all. So we could not compromise on the accessories. We had to go for the metallic zippers that are completely durable. Everything else had to be metallic because so that they don't break. They should edge together with the leather. We cannot have a bag, a completely great quality leather bag with, hooks coming off or buckles coming off. That won't be value for money for our customers. So we had to match that. Now, with the elegance, I'll say it comes in the finishing. I think before this, we were talking about how hard work is. And I'll say it takes longer for us to produce. Products are handcrafted, yes, but we want to give it as much attention as possible, so it takes longer. And this comes in terms of the finishing now. We don't want to leave our edges raw. We don't want, you cut leather, you see the raw edges. We don't want that we don't want that at all. And the customers do appreciate if we do things like piping and having smooth edges with edge coat colors that are, I'll say they are world-class quality finishing. So we do not compromise on that at all. And that is how our customers keep coming back and keep giving us referrals, because again, they say your products are actually different from that in the industry. And we say it's because we put in more time to produce these products so that they come out top quality. And some will even say, most of the time, Shaq, people will say, we see your products online or on the website, but we really don't know. You're probably just posting photos for the sake of posting photos, or you just got photos from the internet and posted them. I'm like, okay, I respect your view, but how about we just do this? And they say we cannot even pay for that product we haven't seen. And I'm like, don't worry, we'll send it over to you. And in case you're not satisfied, just return the product. And believe you me, 100% of those products that have gone out without getting paid for, they get paid for.
They can't bring
Customers
them
are
back.
you have surpassed our expectations. And it does not come back. The product never comes back. And that is what keeps us going. And the referrals and the feedback, because some of them do buy for loved ones as gifts. And you just randomly out of nowhere, a month later, a customer reaches out and they tell you how amazing our products are, or how the other person who received the gift was super happy. So that really keeps us going.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yes.
I can tell even me just from the pictures. If it was food, that's how my reaction would be. So let's speak
Yes.
about challenges that made in Kenya brands face. What do you think are the challenges have been the heaviest on your side, and how have you been able to overcome them?
I think the biggest challenge would be now, of course, lack of support from the government in terms of putting our products out there. Made in Kenya products are perceived to be of poor quality. Poor quality. And us entrepreneurs out there are working ourselves so hard to now overcome that perception of, low quality. That is the biggest challenge we face. And then people not wanting to buy from us because of the price. Now, what do I mean by this? Because now they know it is made in Kenya, it is low quality, then it should be sold at a very low price. So that is one of the biggest challenge. Like, how is your product so expensive and it's made in Kenya? Because now we are trying to bring up the value and the great quality. We cannot sell it at a cheaper price. We can't. There's a lot of factors that goes into coming up with that product, and that is the right price that we set out there. We are not overpricing. We are not underpricing. We are on that. But now the perception of now that this product is made in Kenya, it should be cheap. I think that is one of the biggest challenge. And again, not getting promotions and sponsorships and support from the government is also really, really hard. And that we have to unfortunately compete with the cheap imported products.
Yeah. So how do you manage to overcome all these challenges?
So we had to really identify our niche. We really had to identify our target customers. We very early on realized that not everyone is our customer. And we now target, we we intentionally target those that are our customers. So that has been, I'll say, successful. And now we really don't have to think about selling our products to everyone. We have a niche, and we will promote the brand to that niche as much as possible. And that has helped us remain afloat in the business. Yeah.
Okay. So I know in your industry, there are also trends. And what are you seeing are the new trends? And how are you keeping up with the new trends at Mubi Leather, just to stay ahead of the curve?
We most of the time listen to our customers' feedback. A customer will come and say, you should add this, it will give it more functionality. For example, now one of our laptop bags, one of our best sellers bags, it's a laptop bag. And we are now incorporating other things onto that bag. For example, a customer will say, we are traveling and we need to, to hook this bag onto our trolley bags. Like once you pull up the suitcase, there's that controller that comes up. So we need something that can hold our laptop bags on top of that, and then we incorporate that. So I feel like a lot of feedbacks we get from the customers, we incorporate into our production. We go back and say, okay, for us to remain relevant in the industry, we have to keep speed with what is going on. If these bags are trending out there and someone innovative out there came up with the design of, creating that back strap that can hook onto the suitcase trolley, then we need to also incorporate that. We are not stealing their idea. We're just incorporating that small part. Again, some of the trends that are happening out there is unfortunately is coping, and it's a struggle. It's really a struggle that you see your product completely 100% copied. It's a heartbreak.
I mean, they can't steal the recipe.
They can't steal the recipe. At the end of the day, there is so much big difference. But again, as designers, we are not born with what do you call this? Complete knowledge. No, we had to do a lot of work. We had to do a lot of research and even get inspiration from other designers. But we do not copy 100%. It has to be originally ours. So again, trying to remain on the trend, moving forward, and also being as authentic as possible when it comes to design. I think that is one of our strongest points when it comes to designing, yes.
Okay. So in terms of expanding, what strategies are you using to expand Mubi Leather's presence, both locally and also internationally?
I'll say we are still very young. It's not that I'm limiting myself, and it's not that we are competing with other brands. No, we know that international markets come with a lot of requirements and needs. So we have to build ourselves from down here first. Do we have the right capacity? And do we have the right craftsmanship in our workshop? So building that capacity is one of the strategies. If, for example, we can produce 10 bags in a week, then what can we do to increase that number to 20 to 30? So building capacity is one of the biggest strategies for Mubi Leather right now. How can we build our capacity down here first and test it with our current market in Kenya before we move up that notch? Of course, we do get clients from outside Kenya who buy from our website. And that has really helped us test things like payment methods, communication, like communicating with the client, and also logistics. So those have been trial for us. Okay, if a customer places an order now, how long does it take for them to get their product? And that is just one individual pieces. How can we multiply this to bigger numbers? How can we get a B2B client out there who is willing to now come and join us, and we can send bigger numbers? But that all begins with the capacity. Do we have the right capacity? Do we have the right skill sets to build that capacity? So I'd say capacity is one thing that we have struggled with, but we are growing steadily on that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I know with time you will expand and it will be global. So it's just about timing. And I believe I've seen your work and I know you take it up to the next level very, very soon. So my last question now will be about your advice to young entrepreneurs looking to create sustainable businesses and impactful businesses in Africa. What would you advise them?
For young entrepreneurs, I think I will advise them first things first. Being an entrepreneur is a gift. It is a gift. I usually make this joke that you get a well-paying job, but you're not happy and you just ditch it for being an entrepreneur where you don't get paid. Yes, it is a gift, but it also comes with a lot of responsibilities and challenges. So patience is key. Now, being an entrepreneur needs for you to be true to yourself, holding yourself accountability every single day. Gratitude, like, okay, if I managed to tackle these goals today, I am grateful to the Lord. If I messed up somewhere, then I have to take up responsibility and accountability so that that mistake does not repeat itself. Patience in ways that things didn't work out the way you wanted them to work out. Or someone stole your design or your work, or an employee stole from you. That is a lot for you to handle. So resilience is number one. You just have to like get up every day, put in the work, and you'll see the results. So young entrepreneurs out there, I'll say it takes time. Nothing is ever an overnight success. It takes time. And through that, you must have the discipline, the consistency, the drive, the passion, the resilience, and the patience to build something, because building something from scratch is not easy, honestly. Bigger brands, like I was talking to my sister yesterday and I was like, you know, the brand Hermes did not just appear the other day. This thing is over 20 years old. You know, it took time for the founder to establish what they established. And now everyone sees, oh, it's just a brand that came up and it's, you know, up there. But no, it took up a lot of building, especially the foundation building. One of my mentors says it doesn't go wrong, it starts wrong. So if you start wrong, it will always go wrong. So building up that foundation is very key.
Yeah. Wow. Powerful nuggets right here. I think the next talk should be on TEDx and Forbes. You know.
I don't know.
Yeah, I
Fear for
know.
public
One day
speaking,
we'll be
though.
seeing. Yeah, and I know one day we'll be seeing you there in TEDx and Forbes giving
Yeah,
us
though I
this
have a
thing.
fear for public speaking, so I don't know. We'll see.
When God gives you this purpose, you cannot say no to Him.
True.
Once He takes you to that level, I believe He'll also give you the courage for public speaking. Yeah, yeah. So thank you so much, Mubi. This has really been insightful. I know this will touch someone's life. There are not one, not two, but many. This podcast is going to live for years, and I know Many people will come and refer to this. This is just the beginning. I know we'll have bigger projects together. But this is a good starting point, just as you said, just to start right. And God has been faithful. It has started right. I'm gonna put all the pictures of your bags while the podcast is running. And yeah, I know people will enjoy. I've enjoyed, I've learned a lot, and I'm really grateful. So as I finish, we like also to just mention our sponsors again. Big Rico, best plant-based yogurt I've seen for now, actually forever maybe, to be
I hope we
produced
have it soon in
globally.
Nairobi as well.
Yeah. They'll be coming to Nairobi very soon. Also the coconut oil, which is unrefined. Big Rico also has charcoal briquettes, which they'll be also launching soon to more factories in Kenya. Also, brand allo.co, allo.co. People might go and find allo.com. It's not there. It's allo.co. That's their website. And also charity. We have a school in Kenya called Rofina School. So for those people who believe in supporting initiative of giving, this is one of those schools that we want to just build. We've seen they don't have good places to even sit. We need to also ensure that their class structures are good. So it's my initiative that I've taken just to give back to them with whatever I have. And I believe so many people will also join me in this initiative of supporting the school. So look at the account details there, whatever you have. It can even be food. You can also just visit them there and also give maybe like educational books so that you can support the children's in Kariobangi area in Kenya. So thank you so much, guys. Thank you, Muna, for being here with me. I look forward to many more chats very soon.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right. Yeah.